Welcome everyone to this month's new moon ritual. Now, this one is a little bit different. Jim and I had gone through various places and left offerings, and this time you can see there are some bones right here. This time, when we went to the place that we went last time that you saw the video of, the new moon ritual, you can see when I'm leaving the offering, I go very fast, and Jim actually does too when he does his, because while we were there, we heard a tremendous crack, as if something had walked on a broken log or a big broken branch. And it was a little unnerving. And then we heard a, like, almost like a growl, snorting. I have seen large buck there before. I've seen large boar there before. However, this I think was a bear, and they're doing a lot of clearing around the nature preserve there, and the animals are just kind of misplaced. And so we were hurrying it up because one thing I know, you don't provoke the land spirits, the land vetter, you don't provoke the ancestors, you don't provoke the animal spirits. And so we went pretty quick. But I want you all to know that your prayers and petitions and things that you desire and want to unfold in your life, I did bring those to the land that we are on. And as your mentor and teacher, those are taken to the land and to the spirits. And there I am, and you can see I'm going way faster than I normally would. I would be doing things much more cadence and but I think the greatest respect that one can show is that they respect the beasts of the land and their power, and not to take that for granted. So this new moon ritual, know that our hearts are all united. There I am giving a Thor's hammer blessing, or the Mjolnir that my father would do. And it is in the land. But our hearts are united, so present those requests. Work with the land and the spirits. That's the big Jotun doing his own, but it was right over there that we heard these noises. And so we skedaddled out of there pretty quick. Oh yeah, so this is interesting now. I am not one to believe in just any type of whatever, but I just thought these prints were interesting. Almost looks like there's toes there. They're pretty cool, pretty interesting. I mean, I'm sure it's not anything that, I just think it's interesting because this was a dried waterbed, or swamp area was dried up, and there were all kinds of little skedaddles and animal prints there, along with those big crazy ones, which are kind of interesting. Okay, so that's it for this month's new moon ritual. And again, wasn't exactly how we had it planned, but our ideas were cut short due to the other visitors that seem to have been around watching. And I just want to comment on those footprints that I showed at the end. Yeah, obviously, this is how the stories of the Florida swamp ape or the Florida Sasquatch rumors get started, because of things like that. But honestly, if it had been a large creature, from what I know of tracks, animal tracking, footprints, and all the stuff that I have a hyperfixation interest in, those tracks would have been much more sunk into the ground. They would have been very deeply saturated into that mud had it been, a 400, 500, 600 pound beast that that had made them. I do think they were interesting though, because I really spent a lot of time looking at them, and it looked like they were toes. It almost looked like it was a big, huge man who had on those, those sneakers that are supposed to mimic you being barefoot. And if you walk on the sand with them, they actually leave like a foot toe prints and everything. That's what it looked like. Somebody wore those and was walking through that dried riverbed, which is odd in itself. But regardless, I'm sure it's not anything crazy. I just thought it was so fascinating. And, I'm like, yeah, look, there's creatures around here, everybody. But anyway, sorry if you're hearing dishes clank. That is the Jotun in the kitchen. He's not a quiet man. Anyway, blessings to you all this new moon. You are working and creating and bringing into existence things that you want to in your life. Make your ancestors proud. I am here for you. And yes, we'll get together soon.